Hey everyone, and welcome to a guide for Kingdom 2 Crowns. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Greed, so let's get started. The Greed is your one and only enemy, and they attack your kingdom almost every night of the game until you've destroyed their lairs. There are 4 types of Greed that you'll encounter throughout the game, starting with the Greedlings. These are the basic Greed unit, and the one you'll face the most of whilst playing. Greedlings are part of every night wave and will attack anything in their way until they've picked up a bit of loot. Once they've got something, they'll retreat to the nearest portal. They can attack roughly once every second, with each attack dealing only a little bit of damage to your walls. However, if they hit you, then you'll drop a coin for every hit you take, or a gem if you're out of coins, or your crown if you're out of both. After your crown gets knocked off, there's a chance to retrieve it, but if they reach it first, then you'll get reset back to the first island. When a Greedling hits a villager that has a tool, they'll steal the tool and start retreating. They'll also attack any villagers without tools and take a coin off of them, reverting them back to vagrants that will need recruiting again. They don't attack vagrants though, and any vagrants will cower on the ground until the Greed have gone. Then they'll walk to the nearest vagrant camp unless you've recruited them. Greedlings move a little slower than a running mount, but a little faster than running villagers or any mount walking, so they may be able to catch up to villagers that you've recruited during the day if they haven't made it back to your walls by nightfall. This can also happen with any farmers that are working outside your walls. Greedlings have 1 health, so they only take a single arrow to kill, and when they die they'll drop any loot they're carrying, giving you a chance to get it back. As you get further in the game, you'll face Greedlings that wear masks to protect them, taking between 1 to 3 hours to knock off the mask before they can be killed normally. Greedlings will stop attacking and retreat to the nearest portal at sunrise, meaning you don't always have to defeat all of them as long as you can survive until daytime. They don't really sound like much of a threat, and at the start of the game they're not, but more during the night attacks the longer you survive, so you end up facing massive hordes of them at once, which can cause issues if you're not prepared. Catapults and ballista towers are both great for dealing with large amounts of Greedlings, as they can damage several at once. Fire is also very powerful against any Greed, so it's worth loading your catapults with fire barrels for blood moons, and it also makes the lizard mount very good for defense. The second type of Greed are the floaters, which float slowly through the air, meaning that your walls don't get in their way. They've got 12 health and a very different objective to the Greedlings. They don't care about any loot, instead they just want to steal your subjects. They can each carry up to 2 villagers and will target those nearest to them. Once they've picked 2 up, they'll retreat to the nearest portal, just like Greedlings once they've got loot. If they haven't picked up 2 subjects, they'll keep floating until they reach your town centre. Then they'll just give up and head back to the nearest portal. You'll first see floaters join the attack on the 3rd blood moon. This gives you time to set up your defences to deal with them. Any archers in towers are generally vulnerable to floaters, as they're most likely to be the closest to them. So it's best to upgrade them to at least roofed triplet towers before the 3rd blood moon, as the roofs prevent the floaters from picking them up. As with Greedlings, catapults and ballista are both good for dealing with floaters, as they both deal high damage, though the danger of the ballista tower is that it doesn't have a roof, meaning that the builder controlling it can easily be taken. So it's best to have any ballista towers built a little bit back from your main wall if possible. You can still hit floaters after they've picked people up, so it's possible to kill them and get your subjects back. Unlike Greedlings, floaters won't retreat once the night is over, so they all have to be defeated, or they can just retreat by their normal rules, taking 2 people or getting to your town centre. The 3rd type of Greed are the Breeders, which spawn around the 5th blood moon. These are huge Greed that periodically spawn 4 basic Greedlings and can deal massive damage to your walls. Although Breeders move slowly, they have 85 health, so it's still difficult to kill them before they reach your walls. Unless they're defeated, Breeders will keep going until they've knocked your crown off, destroying any walls and attacking any villagers in their path, and they won't retreat when daylight comes. Catapults do a good amount of damage to them, but Breeders are able to pick up boulders from previous catapult shots and throw them at towers, walls, subjects, or even you. These boulders can knock archers out of towers, even if they have roofs, and when thrown at subjects it will disarm and stun several at once. The best way for dealing with them is fire. Again, this can be through fire barrels or the lizard mount. The added benefit of fire barrels is that they don't leave boulders for the Breeders to throw back. The final type of Greed are the Crown Stealers, which you'll also first see around the 5th blood moon. As their name suggests, their only goal is to take your crown. They move very quickly, will ignore all other units, and can jump over walls. A distinct noise is played when one spawns, so you get a bit of a heads up, but they can still easily take you by surprise. and if one catches you outside your walls, then it's probably game over. They knock your crown off rather than taking it straight away, so there's still a slim chance of recovering it, but unless you have some defences nearby that can kill the crown stealer, it's unlikely that you'll survive. Fortunately, they only have 8 health, and the animation to jump over a wall takes quite a long time, leaving them vulnerable. So if you have a decent amount of archers and you stay behind your walls, you should be fine. Later in the game, crown stealers will start spawning with the regular knight attacks, so it's best to stay behind the safety of your walls, as these guys can easily ruin your day. A crown stealer will sometimes spawn riding a breeder, which is an extra pain as it basically gives it a protected ride to your walls. This crown stealer will also jump off and start running towards you if you get too close to the breeder, so take extra care when dealing with them. The more days you've been playing, the stronger the knight attacks get, though there's a brief decrease in difficulty when travelling to a new island for the first time, as this allows you to get your defences set up. This usually wears off after a few days though, and the knight attacks return to their full strength. Blood moons generally occur once per season, a few days before the end of the season. They are much harder than regular knight attacks, though the greed only attack from one side, and you'll hear a noise indicating that the blood moon has started, so you'll get a little heads up with that. The first couple of blood moons just have greedlings, but far more than you'll usually face. From the third blood moon, floaters will join the attack, and then from the fifth, breeders and crown stealers join. Like the regular knight attacks, the difficulty of blood moons increases as the game goes on until you beat the game or lose your crown. As a note, each season lasts 16 days, so you can keep a rough track of when the next blood moon is going to happen. However, they don't always occur at the same time, so you can't perfectly prepare for one, but you can roughly know when it's coming by keeping an eye on the overall day counter in the pause menu. You'd be very unlucky to encounter a blood moon in the first season, meaning the first one should occur around day 30. There's also a lower chance of blood moons occurring in winter for the first couple of years, though after this they become a lot more consistent, and by the 4th year you may start encountering more than one blood moon per season. The night after a blood moon is generally free from any greed attacks, but this isn't always the case, so you should still be cautious for the start of that night if you're planning on expanding and exploring. Each island has a cliff and dock portal which spawn greed. Depending on what island you're on, there'll also be small portals on each side. The first island doesn't have any small portals, the second island has one small portal on each side before the cliff and dock portals, the third has 2 on each side, the fourth has 3 and the fifth has 4. Small portals and dock portals can be destroyed by sending out squires or knights with archers, though they may also get destroyed by your archers if your outer walls are too close to them. When one of these portals gets destroyed, it triggers a blood moon, so make sure your defences are well set up before you start destroying portals. While you're attacking them, portals periodically spawn a few greedlings, and there's also the danger of a night wave spawning out of the portal if you start your attack too late in the day. It's best to send your troops out to attack as soon as the previous night's wave has been defeated, and to send both squires with a full set of archers so the portal can be destroyed as quickly as possible. Dock portals also have a tentacle which attacks anything that gets too close, but this shouldn't affect your knights or squires as they tend to keep out of range. Dock portals also spawn greedlings more often than regular portals. To defeat the greed on an island, you have to destroy the greed lair. I've covered this in depth in a separate video, so check it out if you're interested. That's everything for this time. If you're looking for more tips and tutorials, then check out some of my other videos, but until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.